Blessings to you, my energetic beings, and welcome back to the Musing Moon Meditation. This Musing Moon is dedicated to the star that we all are, as we are at a crossroads, 2 full moons in 1 season, 1 month. The Spiritual Walk of Fame highlighting our sun sign, the star that we are. You are the sun. You are a Leo with an ingredient of another star. Blessed to bring your medicine, your personal star to the planet at this time. Gift and purpose is at the precipice of divine timing. Arriving on Wednesday, the 16th of August at the Mind's Degree 23. Shifting gears, 5:38 Eastern, 4:38 Central, 3:38 Mountain, and 2:38 Pacific, all AM. Check your timeline when she apexes for you. So the solar plexus, courage, confidence, activating our soul's harmony.
Inshallah and Ashe. Earthly blessings coming to you for the week of August 14th. And we do have a new moon in the season of Leo, birthing our heartfelt desires, feelings, and beliefs. So depending on the phase of the moon that you were born into, what the moon phase you were born under, can kind of percolate a little differently is what I want to say. So I want to share some insight into what kind of a person you're going to be. It's like the spiritual energy that's fluctuating of our life through our sacral foundation, our emotional foundation, our sacral center. So today I want to share some insight talking about what that even means, what that looks like for you or through you to be born under each of the different moon phases, and just tuning into the moon phase and kind of see which one you're kind of born under. Just musing about what kind of spiritual effect that this may have on your personality, not just your spiritual, but emotional energy throughout your life. So I'm going to kind of play through this and see how it manifests through here on my screen. I'm changing things up a little here, mostly because I've been following the moon through the seasons and the gates as a reflector. And I find I go through, obviously, ups and downs during the season of the moon, going through gates for myself. So I thought it might be kind of interesting to see what phase of the moon that you may be born under, or different phases, and kind of what comes in, what we can play with. So give me a little soul credit here as I pop this through. And ta-da, there I am. I'm getting so crafty with this. So a quick little fun fact before I muse along any further. So the opposing energies, that's when the sun is, say, for example, we have the sun in Leo right now, and then the moon in Aquarius. So that would be an opposing energy, or the sun in Libra and the moon in Aries. And then you're more likely born under what's called a full moon, which we all know what that is. So if your sun and your moon sign are in the same sign, then you're kind of born under a new moon. But the degrees also play into this. So either way, comment and let me know where your moon is, which phase you were born under. So we're going to map out the phases of the moon mapping, emotional moon mapping, the emotional foundation mapping of the phases of the moon. So living in tandem with the moon's phases might just give you some insight and emotional boost that you've been navigating towards, and just knowing the moon, the goddess of the night, really adds flavor to our emotional landscape, our inner landscape. It's our sacral center. And I really believe that our sacral gets activated during every season. Again, we're in the season of Leo right now. So our sacral and the end degrees of Leo has been activated on what our little inner child, our little 2-year-old self really loved. And that's when the sacral activates. I think we go through this every season. I believe we go through more of a sacral activation during the season of Cancer, because that is our sacral season. That is the moon's season. So during the moon's phases, the moon also exerts different energies and influences. I would call them ingredients, all of their own, and all the planets kind of exude that ingredient. So we may feel the moon's energy directly. It's the ebb and the flow of those tides, and being that we too energetically are mostly made of water, it just kind of makes sense to really align ourselves with the phases of the moon during each of the seasons, and just being aware of those phases of the moon and why mapping out with the moon, kind of like the elementals, and as a reflector in human design, I've been mapping the moon. It feels like I've been doing it all year long, but I actually noticed a pattern there. I get overly hard on myself during certain moon phases. So why go to so much effort to coordinate our lives to the phases of the moon according to the stars under each lunar phase? It offers us a different energy and also an opportunity. So new moons, and I'm going to be editing this so I can kind of point to the new moon. But new moons, they give us a push towards our goals, where full moons are the phase of rest and release. So each of the phases gives or offers us our own opportunity, unique, in a great way to boost our manifestation, our rituals. We all manifest differently. That's why the Witcher's Way to Manifestation, it's all about using our unique gift and purpose, our ability to manifest, and working with your own phase and visualizing and internalizing and believing that it's infinitely possible. And it really is. Working with the moon, it maps out the patterns, it keeps us on a schedule with the moon. So new or dark moons, I get a dark moon blend from the Witchy store, Crone's Hollow, where I started doing cowrie shell divinations on Thursday afternoons. So what is it? So new moons or the dark moons, that happens when the moon is between the earth and the sun. It's unseen, it's invisible in the night or the day sky. So the first moon phase is the new moon, and we're heading towards one. It's pointing us towards the fact that you may be somebody who is psychic deep down inside of you, inner world. So if you're born under a new moon, that means that you are somebody who has a lot of thoughts on your mind, more of the cloud lines, I would say, of thinking maybe too much, overthinking everything, everyone, not only just that, but also your plans, your ideas, mapping out your plans. So the new moon gives off kind of an Aries quality, an energy of Aries. That's an energy of passion about what you love, really wanting to go after it all, rarely having a lot of patience. My son is an Aries sun, and also I have friends with Aries moons. They're very ignited quickly, but it's only because they're so excited to get everything done in their favor. So if you're born under or during a new moon, kind of embrace yourself for being kind of different, because genuinely you pretty much are, and embrace those rare ideas, those fluctuations, everything and anything that kind of screams unique, different. So it's going to make a change for the better, a positive change in the world and also for yourself. So it's this idea of how to work with or use the energy of the new moon. And we all go through this, but this is the beginning phase of this lunar cycle. So if you're born under a new moon, you can really use new moon intentions to your benefit to percolate. It's a time when you can set any intention, a goal that you wish to achieve or want to achieve, something you want to attain for the entire month ahead. So each new moon is really an opportunity to begin anew, starting fresh, starting over, knowing it's never too late to begin. So if you're born under the waxing crescent, I'll point that way because of my camera, the waxing crescent kind of right by my head there. What is that all about? So the lunar phase occurs right after the new or the dark moon, and it's only visible in the sky, just a crescent of it. It's the startup of those ideas, different ones that you may have, but it's an emotional sensation, and getting them into motion, thoughts, ideas. They might be vivacious, if you will, exciting, out there, different. It's Gemini and Taurus. Gemini is our mind. Taurus is how we manifest. Again, and it shows up different for everyone. So slow moving, Taurus is slow moving, right? Steady with the process while making it all happen in our favor, and just being okay with sticking with our values, our own values, and not following the rules, not following the crowd, if you will, going off on your own stream just because you think that you should. So having the emotional flavor to make a lot of things happen, big, amazing potentials to really make things happen. But really, it kind of boils down to how committed you are to actually follow through and do it in order to make all the things happen. You do have to put in a lot of energy, in the best way possible and be prepared for growth coming through within your life, but also maintaining inspiration that you have within yourself, and an opportunity kind of flows, comes your way, a lot of it. So it's an energy of knowing. It's the, I want to say the solar plexus. Gemini is the solar plexus. That's our knowing center, where we've got Taurus, which is a manifesting energy, bringing it down to the earth star, and just knowing what we're yearning for, yearning to bring to life, so we can start planning out how to move towards those visions, possibly creating a vision board, start a manifestation journal, be consistent and becoming comfortable with voicing what you want using words. So that's pretty fascinating. If you're born under the first quarter or that moon phase, kind of when it lights up your star, I want to call your star cherry. So what is this one? The first quarter moon really lights up half of the moon in the sky, usually in the northern hemisphere. The right half is lit up, the left is unseen, it's darkened, and it's opposite in the southern hemisphere. But sometimes I feel like the moon is pulling different. I don't know about you in the night sky. It doesn't ever seem to be in the same area when I look up at night, and I sleep outside. So enough of that, but it's said to actually be one of the most difficult moon phases to be born under because of the tension. There's a lot of tension there. It's stuck in the middle of staying in one place, if you will, or moving forward into another. So this specific moon phase embodies the traits or the qualities of Cancer energy, the moon's home, the ruling planet. So you have to learn to kind of crawl out of your shell, to get up, to make it real, make things happen in your life, instead of residing within the shadows of your cell, just like being a Cancer would, being okay with the shitty sides of yourself, the shifty sides, in order to become better than before. So if you keep running from the shadows of the night, the darkness, you really just end up running around in circles. And that's kind of what crabs do. They actually go in circles. That's kind of their direction. So really being okay with facing the obstacles, be responsible, be action forward, initiating. So you kind of create more flow for your life, just like the opposing energy of Capricorn. Developing this energy is not about victim or blame or shame. It's about taking responsibility, Capricorn, and making things happen so it can make it real, making it happen. So don't hold resentment to those who didn't help you on your way to success, because you are, again, don't hold it against them. Go ahead and pat yourself on the back. Be proud. This is when action, possible magic, begins to happen, and it activates the decisive attitudes needed to really move forward. It's that initiation, creating the momentum. So that's always there to kind of tweak things and decisions and anything else that may be needed. So that's pretty fascinating, I feel. Okay, so if you're born, I'm going to poke this way. If you're born with the waxing gibbous, excuse me, I just like gibbous, I don't know. But the moon is almost full. So this means, and I actually have this moon, I have a Scorpio moon. I'm a Gemini, but it's at the end degrees of Scorpio. But this means that matters are beginning to really come to light. This may mean that your life is full of ups and downs. Hello, full of unpredictability. It really is a roller coaster ride. And anytime you have a goal, hello, or felt like something was coming your way, something may have stopped the flow, switched the flow, changed it. Something has kept it either the high of the highs, the low of the lows, the ups and downs, the topsy-turvettes. And it doesn't matter the ups and the downs of this ride, because the moon's phase holds the energy of Virgo and Leo. This is the love cauldron of love. This is the high heart and the heart center. This is the superpower of this phase. So any kind of discomfort that you've persevered through in the past, the bullshit of it, and I got a lot, confidence, smarts, exudes all the things that you need inside of you to persevere, to overcome those forces of adversity and those obstacles. So nothing is ever an option. It's easiest to deal with. It's actually meant to work in your favor. That's what we are supposed to be doing. I know this myself. So if you're born under this moon phase, make everything negative into a positive. I do it all the time. Every down into an up. whatever that may be, and embrace your light. This moon also produces a lot of very smart people, naturally gifted with a positive attitude. And if you listen to me, I tend to stay pretty optimistic until I get hit by a gate about all the things. So really maintaining that optimistic venue for yourself. So if there is a concern or an issue, then you may begin to see the situation and start to kind of escalate it a little bit. Don't run away from the problem. Try to shift them, work them out. And if you started a project under the new moon and it's actually going really well, then this is the lunar energy, the phase where we get the universe's applause. Like the universe gets us in the flow, applauding our hard work, our endeavors with rewards. And on the opposing side, if you're having problems, the moon is asking us to take a pause, to really take a step back, reassess, meditate, reach out for assistance. So being born under the full moon, which follows right after this, I feel like I'm like right on the cusp of it. So I'm kind of full moonish, but yet not in a weird way. But when the earth is between the sun and the moon is very bright, the full moon. So our energy is right out there for everyone to see because your energy is full. It's elevated, it's heightened. So all of the emotions are on the top of the top. So this is a strong personality in everything, right? When I say everything, I mean everything. But this full moon has the qualities of Libra. So this means that you may embody a social quality. You love to have relationships, balance, harmony, friendships, love life, partners. You kind of bring that in, things like that, qualities like that. So very everywhere, but in a great way. But it can also feel very heavy, like you have to carry the weight of everyone's energy, including your own. Even fighting with your intuition to see if someone is a good person. Bad energy is on, maybe their energy's off. So it's very important, as it's similar to the topsy-turvettes, myself, but a little more stabilized. So you may be shown exactly what you need to see, never having to worry if someone is hidden from you. Other people are a source of sustenance, kind of a mainstay. So if you're getting kind of constructive criticism, which is very possible from them, it's time to apply it to the best of your ability. And at the same time, kind of witnessing the lessons of others as they face them and go through them and learn from them so that you don't have to experience them. So if you do become wise to watching them, learning from their experiences, you will go farther in life. And it's going to be kind of super easy, kind of a peaceful flowing feeling. And this is the time of truth. It's when we're fully lit up, we're brilliant like the moon. The moon reveals things that we may have been blind to before or blinded. So we're kind of gaining kind of a clear access and understanding when it comes to matters of relationships, just allowing us to really make decisions based on our intuition and our feelings, what we're seeing. So full moons are really moments of releasing, letting go. It's the gathering of all the things that we have started since the new moon. So it's a day of rest. It's time to take a bath. This is when we charge and cleanse our crystals. We gather moon water, connecting with community and doing rituals. So then if you're born under the waxing gibbous down in the corner there, being born under, the waning gibbous moon, me and the waxing. When the full moon light begins to dim the brightness, you may be somebody who is pretty reasonable. You've leaned in and you're tuned into your emotions. You felt into them. You know what you've been through. You've seen it all kinds of the things. But now you are relaxed. You are calm. You're reflecting upon everything in your life, all the things that you've been through, having qualities of a Scorpio or a Sagittarius. So this is protecting, guarding, believing, starry night, the soul's harmonic, along with the shaman's portal. These are out-of-body energy centers. So you may be somebody who goes through a lot of mental, spiritual, physical, emotional kind of transformations, but at the same time, you're implementing new ideas and trends and things that move people forward towards helping them, achieving them. Somebody who uses transformation to see the big picture. Pluto, transformation, big picture, Jupiter, helping others to see the big picture too. So naturally, just lucky, Jupiter, Success is organic, it's natural. Ideas percolate, they're bubbling off of each other. You're able to come up with more ideas and always expanding upon them. Jupiter energy, right? So you may have an issue with prioritizing the wrong things or things you should be versus unnecessary things. So if you start to notice that you're focusing too much on one area of your life instead of on another, really taking a step back, take a pause, observe, and focus on areas equally in your life where you can improve from focusing on all the areas. So focusing on all the blessings that are coming in towards you and for you and in those transformations. So the moon is kind of dimming, but our hearts are still stirring with passion and desires. So I would write a letter to yourself stating all of the changes that have been made since the new moon, because that's kind of how it's flowing through you. And this is what is guiding us towards our efforts, the ones that are worth the work that we put into them over the past month, and just voicing our progress, allowing us to take a bow in the cosmic etheric mirror, if you will, and seeing our progress. And it also helps us to kind of, when we see where we've come, it keeps us moving forward towards, I don't want to say the end goal, but towards the upcoming new moon. The third quarter, or the last quarter, having the traits of Capricorn, Capricorns want to rise to the top, right? So half of the moon lights up during this lunar phase and the opposite of the first quarter. So it's ambition, is stirring, it's striving for success, it's achievements, not only accenting them, but we do get success, knowing we are successful. So you're meant to be successful. Change the game, the big picture, the status, the quota, big ideas, share, act, thoughts, ideas. They're all serving you. So really paying attention and letting go of the old, the outgrown things naturally. This is father time. So let that stuff go. And if you happen to find yourself having a lot of great ideas or whatever situations that you have been a part of, maybe you find you no longer wish to associate yourself with certain things. So don't be afraid to really let them go as you do something better. It opens the door for other opportunities when we allow and let go. As you outgrow the things, don't be afraid to kind of move on. You also have the energy of being a caregiver. Cancer, right? The opposing sign. Cancer is nurturers. That's kind of where we find our equilibrium, is in our opposing signs. So if you find that you truly authentically care about the people around you in your garden, just don't be afraid to take your time. This moon phase really takes up a lot of energy. It's nurturing. There's lots of movement going through us. So take the slow way, not the highway. So you move past all the bullshit that's happening that has never or is no longer serving you. So everything is really kind of coming full circle, making sense. So it's time when it's like justice is served. The vision's been created. It's come from the ethers and landing into the physical manifestation. So we can glimpse in to see what's kind of coming next. It's an opportunity to really disconnect from bad habits, possibly even bad people, cutting cords. But of course, we only cut cords only after placing universal streams or rays first in that area, because we don't want gunk back in the trunk moving forward with our life. So energetic cleansing of our home, that's a great idea. Detoxing, letting go of bad vibrations, body, mind, spirit, evolving, transforming while releasing from the past. So yeah, I think that's a great time to clean the house. Just saying. Under the waning crescent, or the balsamic moon, it's been called both, the moon is back to being just a sliver. So it's kind of like the new moon's sister in terms of intuitive gifts, abilities. In terms of energy, intuition, it's at an all-time high. So we're absorbing the gods out of it, I would say. We're just taking it in. Qualities of Pisces, which is what we intuitively sense, and Aquarius, energy, frequency, vibration, calling for us to have all of that energy inside of ourselves. So sometimes you may not even notice that you do. You may feel so overwhelmed by the way that you're feeling, by the energies you're absorbing, kind of picking up on what others are feeling. So take it all the way to the waters, taking it slow. This is where the rivers of your underlying emotions are within you. You don't even notice them, that you even have them. You're intuitive. You may not even know it because it's progressing, moving forward through life at its own pace, just depending on your willingness to really learn and accept the memo that you have been taught throughout all the phases of our lives, really. So if you keep fighting the flow, the shift you are seeing, it's actually going to be a challenge to see what you are supposed to be getting out of your life. And if you do learn how to separate or differentiate between your soul and your ego, how to tune in and listen, I was just like my hand on my heart here, listen to your intuition over anything else, you'll kind of stream further in life. So it's all about paying attention to what you feel with this particular phase. So be wise about what you do for yourself and also for others. So this is kind of a generational energy that gets felt in your family, in your lineage, future generations. So choose wisely, but don't forget to go with what you feel, being that this is an energy of the culmination of events over the past month and the end of the lunar cycle. So this is kind of a time of reflection, introspection. Like, what have we learned? What have we gained? What have we seen since the last new moon? How can you use your insights, your perspectives to really make your life better? So it's like meditating under the waning crescent or the balsamic to really find the answers within yourself. So this may be the end of the current journey, but we all know we got another one coming under the upcoming new moon, which then sparks a different vision, a different dream. Now, I just do want to bring in some ideas for the granddaddy new moon wishes. I should have put that up here. So I might do another webisode just about the granddaddy wishes. This is when the new moon happens to happen in our 11th house of hopes, wishes, and dreams. It's Aquarian energy. This is like otherworldly insight. It's expecting the unexpected. It's the energy gets kind of magnetized. It's where we get to dream big, wish bigger, a wish for each and every day. So if you want to know what your granddaddy wishes could be, it's the cusp of your 11th house to see when that's happening for you. Right now, Leo, if you've got Leo in your 11th house on ruling that cusp line, I kind of do, but I kind of don't. But this is about romance, children, dating, love, fifth house ideas, creative projects, being enthusiastic, artistic, it's that expression, being generous, being like a lion, being good-hearted, bringing joy, activating those joy molecules, encouragement. So these are all ideas for Leo energy, just be recognized, being on the center of the stage, being on the stage, being overly self-confident possibly, having your own unique expression that's individual, radiating your brilliant strength, your gift, your purpose, but more about having playtime, maybe having some fun. It's kind of like going to, I want to say like the theater or the park, and wishing your wishes. You get to make a wish for every day, 40 wishes instead of 10, which just amplifies the energy. So again, just be careful for your intentions with this new moon, and just know that if you're, I would say if your 11th house was at possibly, I'll just say like the 20th degree of Leo on that cusp, if you know that in your rising, you've got like literally, you've got 30 plus wishes. I would probably make, percolate on your first 10 wishes you want with your new moon intention. Make sure, go to your dreams. I would go to my childlike wonder, my inner child, and kind of what did my little 2-year-old self wish for or dream about or fantasize about in my reality. That's kind of what I would go through for that. But just connect with your moon, comment what phase your moon's born in. But each phase actually brings a unique quality, a gift, a purpose, I believe, and just being in tune with the moon. I've been actually journaling with the moon, like I said, as a reflector, so it's been pretty interesting. So yeah, that's it for today, folks. See you next time. Ashe.